The Jacket Gorge. Does it matter? Is it a big deal? You're damn right it is. Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to the Fit Man Style channel. My name is Ian. Got a little bit spiffy for you guys today, and it's apropos because of the topic of today's video, and that is the Jacket Gorge. What is the Jacket Gorge? What's the importance of the Jacket Gorge, and what's the significant role that it plays in your overall appearance, fit, and the perception of how a suit jacket, blazer, or sport coat sits on your physique. So what is the Jacket Gorge? Well, it's simply where the collar of the jacket meets the lapel of the jacket. Right there at the gorge, you will see what they call a gorge line, which is a seam that separates the collar from the jacket. You can find this on your notch lapels, your peak lapels, not so much on your shawl lapel, because with a shawl lapel, there's a continuum from the collar all the way down to the lapel. Now, this may seem like a very small part in a man's jacket that may not be a big deal, but it does play a significant role in how a jacket makes you look. But we're going to get to that. First, let's go through the history of the gorge, the evolution of the gorge, and where it stands in present day menswear. So when we're looking at the evolution of the Jacket Gorge, you got to look at it from two different perspectives, from the 20th century and from the 21st century. In the 20th century, the Jacket Gorge was a little bit lower than what we're used to seeing today. And in some instances where the collar and the lapel met, the space between that was a little bit large. So when you look at the early 1900s, and you can see examples of this in the Netflix show Peaky Blinders, and when you take a look at some of the men that we admire in menswear, like Frank Sinatra, Nat King Cole, a lot of suits they wore, the Jacket Gorge was low, and in some instances it was large as well. Even all the way up to the 90s. You know, I remember seeing basketball players wearing those enormous 90s suits. The Jacket Gorge was low. And I'm even thinking about the famous lawyer Johnny Cochran, who represented O.J. Simpson. If you take a look at courtroom pictures of him, he loves wearing his peak lapel suits. The gorge was damn near on his chest. And I think a contributing factor to that was when I take a look at those suits, the collar on those suits was large, and that affected how low the gorge was compared to suits that you see today where the collar is a little bit small. That's also affecting the height of the gorge, bringing it up a little bit more. So that's something you have to take into consideration. If you were to wear a suit like that today, it will be considered either outdated, or you just could be a guy who is into classic menswear. But in the 21st century, I would definitely recommend that you go with a suit that has a slightly higher gorge. I've seen some instances on Instagram where that gorge has been exaggerated, a little bit too high, but a good height, I would definitely recommend that you go with that. But is that the end all be all? Okay, you're gonna get a suit nowadays with a higher gorge, end of story, right? Not quite. Depending on your physique, and despite the gorge being a little bit higher, you may want to consider how that jacket will make you look and how it will fit on your physique. So I just want to say the Jacket Gorge is just one aspect of your jacket that a tailor would consider what best fits your physique. And I'm not even totally dismissing a lower gorge. I may not wear a Johnny Cochran suit. It's a little bit too low for me. But a lower gorge may be best for some people out there. Maybe not as low as that. It's all about balance. The general rule of thumb is this. The gorge should lay on your collarbone, and it should be on the same level as your shoulder. So if you take a look at the jacket that I have now, the gorge is on my collarbone, and it's on the same level as my shoulder. Now this jacket is from Spear McKay, and I love Spear McKay. I've come to find that their jackets, their suits are proportional to my physique. But as much as I love them and as much as I would recommend them to anybody, Spear McKay may not be for everybody, because there's some instances where, depending on what you're trying to achieve, the height of the gorge plays a significant role. So if you are a shorter guy, you might want to go with a slightly higher gorge and a lower button stance to give you a taller look. If you are a tall guy, you might want to go with a slightly lower gorge and a shorter button stance. But even in those two examples, there are variables. There's some tall, big guys. There's some tall, skinny guys. There's some short, big guys. And there's some short, skinny guys. So aside from the fact that if you can't find a brand, which is something that I always preach on this channel, if you can find a brand that produces garments for you that fits your physique, that's proportional to your physique, that gives your physique balance, stick with that brand. But if you can't find a brand like that, I mean, your only option, honestly, is to go the custom route. So like I said, Spear McKay works for me. It may not work for someone else. Men's Warehouse may work for someone, but doesn't work for me. And if you can't find a brand that works for you, then you might have to go a custom route. And Spear McKay has a custom portion to them that you can look at. Probably wouldn't recommend Men's Warehouse custom program at this point. I did a video on that about 2 years ago. I'm gonna put a link up so you guys can check them out. But I would say definitely go the custom route. At least at that point, a tailor will take a look at your specific body and tell you where the gorge should be on your jacket based on your physique. So there's no clear-cut answer as to where the gorge should be. Of course, there's that general idea that it should be on your collarbone, but you can tweak that. So yeah, definitely I want you guys to keep that in mind when you're going jacket shopping. The position of the gorge and how the gorge on the jacket would create a perception of your physique may not be a perception that you're trying to achieve, or it may be. It's totally up to you, but I just want you to keep in mind the position of a jacket gorge. All right, guys, thank you for watching this video. I appreciate it. It's a very interesting part in a man's jacket that I don't see a lot of videos on, so I thought I would take up the challenge and at least start the conversation about it. So I would appreciate it if you drop your comments down below, like and subscribe to this channel as well. I appreciate you again for checking this video out. I'll see you on the next one, and as always, stay fly, stay fit.